Hello everyone, this is Darryl20 and welcome to episode 21 of Darryl20's Mechanical Mastery Let's Play series, where, I have 301 million EMC. This little machine, alright, not that little, but this whole setup, working pretty good. Not too shabby. So last episode we knocked out plastic production, which is all well and good. We should be really quite good on plastic at this point. In the event that I need it in the future, which I'm assuming I will at some point. I don't know for sure. Quick peek down the line, there's a bunch of stuff coming up in here realm. And then once we get to end game, that's when things get, like, really, really wild. Yeah, looks like all kinds of cool stuff there. So let's jump into advanced mechanism today. So we're going to get a few things, specifically fluorite. Yep, that's going to go in there. Let's put away some stuff, or at least be ready for some stuff. Okay, so we got fluorite access, we've got uranium access, neither of which is surprising, considering the message that, fissile fuel production is in our immediate future. A little emerald ore shouldn't be a big deal. I think you can craft emeralds from diamonds, so probably wasn't necessary, but it's all good. Ancient debris has a pretty hefty EMC cost, but now we have access to netherite and netherite-like materials. And then oil clumps, which are cool. So apparently they work like slime balls, it says? Maybe. Are they dictionary with slime balls? Because that would be cool. Maybe? I don't say anything about vanilla pistons working with them. Though this is a slime ball recipe, right? So where's the vanilla? Like, that's the create piston. I don't see the vanilla piston having... Either way, doesn't matter. You need to be oil clumped right into there as well. Cool. So I think that's all the new EMC things, right? So if we start looking down the path here, there's a few things we're going to need to do. We're going to need to get into fissile fuel production, which I'm probably not going to do right now. Then we need a fission reactor, and then we need a steam turbine, okay? Again, I'm probably not doing those today. I'm going to hold off on that and start focusing on some other things. Now, the reason we're working towards this is we need to make inert advanced mechanical essence. We need to combine these in a superheated mixer. So there's a few things we're going to need. Number one, elite control circuits, which is no big deal. We can get those easy peasy. Improved mechanical essences, we're already making. Fissile fuel pellet is, it takes fissile fuel, like unspent fuel, and combines it with fluorite dust, and that'll make a fissile fuel pellet. So that is not spent fuel. That is unspent fuel. That is literally like the isotropic centrifuge from uranium hexafluoride, yada yada yada. So that's cool. And then Mobius fuel, which is EMCable, so extremely easy to feed into this thing. So really, the big craft to get to this point is probably going to be this production line of stuff, and then also the blaze cake, which is going to be responsible for superheating the blaze dude, right? And that doesn't look too bad either, because we really just need lava, sugar, cinder flour, both of which are very easily EMCable, and then eggs, which are not quite so EMCable, but also I've got a lot over here. I noticed this drawer was getting full, so I went ahead and added a drawer, or the chest was getting full, so I added a drawer, and then I threw a diamond upgrade on there, so it has a 512 stack limit. Remember, they only stack to 16 because eggs, but yeah. So, good to know. So we're cool there. And that's the culmination of these two trees here, right? So, like, this coming down here. We can also get a watch of flowing time, by the way, which we'll see if we need at some point. I don't know that we will. But notice how, like, the fissile fuel pellet comes off the fissile fuel production, but then you're supposed to start a fission reactor. It's giving you the big heads up that in the future, you're probably going to need polonium and plutonium and all that stuff. So we will make the fissile fuel production line, and then we will also make the fission reactor so we can start accumulating plutonium and polonium, because I'm sure we'll need a bunch later, right? We always do. We always do. Now over here, we need a fractioning still for some refined fuel. And the reason for that is because all this makes is the inert advanced mechanical essence. So close yet so far. But not that far, really, because we just need a bucket of refined fuel, and that will make advanced mechanical essences. So this is like an extremely small extra step, right? Refined fuel is exceedingly easy. All we need is, either light oil or heavy oil, which we will get if we fraction crude oil, which we can get from the oil clumps that we just learned EMCable, right? So oil clump to light oil, heavy oil to refined fuel to done deal. And then, as a side quest, we can get a compression dynamo to make power out of that. But considering we're going to be doing this shortly, unless the RF generation of these were significantly nerfed in the pack, I don't see any reason to ever worry about a compression dynamo, because this is going to make so much more power. It's going to be absurd. So that's the plan. So let's see. What do we want to work on today? We could just start. I don't know that I need to do this, because all I'm really going to use the refined fuel for is the final product. So what I might focus on is the blaze cake production today. Let's do some of that. Does that sound cool? So we're going to need that, and we'll get a blaze cake as a reward. And what I'd like to do is, over in my create area, I'm thinking we could set up a nice little automation dude that will create blaze cakes and store them for future use. Does that sound like a plan? I hope so. So I'm pretty sure I can just do something like this. And let's do some creaty stuff today, right? So, bunch of you. We're probably going to need some other things at some point, but we'll figure it out when we get there. You're going to want... what? You're probably going to want to tap into something. You're close. You're close. You're close. There's so many things I could tap into here, but we'll figure it out. So the first thing we need to do is get compacting. So we're going to need cinder flour, we're going to need sugar, and we're going to need eggs. Alright, so let's start with this. I'm probably just going to go more like here. Now, should we make cinder flour an on-demand craft? I don't know. I'm suspecting what I'll probably want to do is have several dedicated mechanical belts for things. So I'm not sure if I love that this is here, but I will probably have some more running along the back here in the event that there's more mechanical belts that we need to, or crushers that we need to do things with. But for now, what I'll do is we'll just get a drawer, okay? And you can store the cinder flour. Yeah, is good. So if I just did something like that, and if I did this here, technically I should be able to put a gearbox here. Yes, but it's running the wrong way. Is it correct to state that I could technically also place one? Oh, no, that's not going to work either. Yeah, I'm looking for like a nice simple place where I can put this so I can not be too dire derpy with the, but it's, it's how it goes. Dire derps are abound. That generally happens. I'm trying to make it not too dire belty, but you know how things are. What I could do is something like this, and you could belt like that, and that is still the opposite direction that I want, but I could throw this guy like that, and now you're happy. That works, right? Okay. And then if I just got netherrack, well, not what I wanted. Netherrack. Right? So now, from create, what I should just get is a chute, this, and some netherrack. Okay. That is just unlimited cinder flour then, right? Like, no reason not to go that route. And we'll see if we need more than that, but I think that's going to hold me over for probably forever. That should be more than sufficient, right? So we'll need an ME storage bus for this guy. And some cables. Okay. And you can have a nice high priority, because that's where I want things to go and come from. And how are we on channels over here? So you're using 7 out of 8 right now on this line, 7 out of 8. So I technically have just room enough for one more channel. Okay, so now I should have my cinder flower, and I'm going to take it all out and put it all away. Oh, guess what else I did? Between episodes, I made it so I have blaze rods available. Wasn't that cool? You know how I did that? I'll show you real quick. I decided to throw a half drawer here, a half slab drawer, and now this guy's outputting to the top. And because he's touching these drawers, he's technically part of the same system, and therefore I have access to blaze rods. How cool is that? 408, 409. Cool? Okay. So then cinder flower, we've got access to now. We should also throw eggs, because that would be exceptional. I feel like it's here-ish. Yep. So your storage drawer is going to tap into this dude, and now you've got access to all the eggs. How about just tap into here, and then you're the same output of that, right? Boom, ba-doom. And now I've got eggs. 863. That ought to hold me over. Now, if I need more eggs, I'll probably have to either just grow chickens or do something to encourage more egg drops, which I'm sure I'll figure that out at some point, right? I could always just, like, you know, do this. Boop, 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 boop. There you go. More chickens, more egg drops. Everybody's happy. Cool. So that's 2 of 3 items done, right? And sugar, I already know how to automate. Okay. So what I can do here is take a production line, say here-ish. Let's have a production line start here, maybe. Or I could probably just tap into you. Okay. And this blaze cake process should not be terrible, right? So I assume, probably want something like this. And you're going to be, so for a blaze cake, we need compacting and no heating required basin. So I won't be able to do that on the line, but I will be able to do it, you know, if I do this. So part of me wonders if I want to feed items in this way. What I think I want to do, because what we're going to want is, we'll probably want to feed out of this item, right? So let's do it like this. Let's set it up so that the basin is here. And then we can set this guy up to do this. And that's cool, right? So I'm going to need cinder, and that should be good, and that should be cool, right? Now, I may not want that in place just yet. And then what I'm going to want is a drawer system that sits here. And this should actually be relatively easy to set up, if I'm not mistaken. That's kind of cool. Because all I need then is an interface. Okay. And the interface will feed me items from the AE system. And then we'll use laser IO to put the correct ratio of items into the basin. And then we will stamp it, pull out just the cakes, and then we'll be cool. Right? Makes sense? So you can sit here. I'm going to assume I'm close. Actually, in a really bad position there. It's like the worst place I could have chosen to be. The worst place I could have chosen to be. If I wanted to, I could technically do this. It would require an extra laser, but I think it would be a little cooler, right? Because then I could just do cable to here. Okay. And then, are we good on channels? We have 5 out of 8 available. Because we're going to want a storage bus on this guy. Right? Which we'll hook up in a minute. Right? But now you stock for me sugar. Okay. Eggs. And cinder flour. Okay. Give me a crafting card so that you can handle that, right? Cool. Perfect. And then we just need to laser IO you up into that dude. With a counting filter, we'll get more of while we're getting everything else ready. Probably going to want more of you. For now, the 2 that I have should be sufficient. Okay, so for you, we're going to want to, I don't know why you're here, but insert on white with a counting filter. And let's put like 4 of each in there. Ah, don't do that. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Now you are going to be... Did I have one in there, or am I imagining things? Must be just imagining it. Counting filter, these guys. Oh, no, wait. That's this one. Yeah. I knew I did something. So put this in there, counting filter these guys. That's the insert. This will then be the extract. Okay. And we should probably overclock you. Boy, that's easy. Look at how great that is. So that you can be 4 items every tick. And then we just need to connect these 2 up. And are you going to be groovy about that? I remember there was something about create basins and counting filters being weird. And I might have just ran into it. Because this should be working and it doesn't seem to be. Right? If I put a chest here, this would work, right? Did I, like, set something to require redstone or what? So you are... Oh, you have a... Ha! There you go. Nope, I left the filter and the thing that I shouldn't have left in there. So it was literally like, you're only allowed to extract these items, and that list was empty. So now with the basin... Wait, don't right-click it, and you should be fine. See? So sugar, egg, cinder flour. Then we need a mechanical press. And that dude... How do we want to rotate him to be cool? Because we could do... No. Could do is something like this. The gearbox? Like a vertical gearbox? Here. And then a regular gearbox. Here. Okay. And now we're getting our blaze cake bases, which I can use to filter the recipes, right? Everything else goes away, please. And then we can add our belts here. But before we add our belt, I probably want to have... I'm going to put this here and just move these all over. Okay, and then here we're going to have our spout. Okay, and for spouts, we're going to need copper casings. Ooh, I can add that down there. I can add a recipe for this guy, right? So you would be... Where did I put this thing? on the down, or on the up, your extract should be copper. Copper casings are what? Copper ingots get deployed. Okay. And then we can come over here. And then the plan will be that you can make copper casings, but with oak wood rather than that. Okay? And then this goes in here, and now if I want copper casings times 20, that works. Copper age. Okay. So you're going to sit here? No. You're going to sit one block higher. You're going to sit here. Right? Now, if I link you guys up, you should know that you need to... Yes. So now you know you need to do things, right? And you're gumming up on account of the fact that you don't have any lava to put in there. And this is where we're going to grab a magma crucible. And that should be cool. So your job will be to pull from above and output below, right, with flux dude. I never automated obsidian, and I really, 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 really should. Oh, somebody went invisible again on me. Every now and then they're being weird like that. It's 118, it's a little bit of an older pack, so, you know, things happen. And then EMC link with netherrack. And then you should be pulling netherrack in, you're going to do the thing, and that goes here, and now we have blaze cakes. Ho ho! That is cool. How cool is that? Wow, you have 57 blaze cakes sitting there? I did not know that was a thing you could do. Today I learned that's a thing that can happen. Okay. How many are sitting here? Just one, as I would have expected. Sweet. Well, blaze cakes for days. That's not a bad bit of automating, I don't think. Storage bus ready. Oh, look, we get to connect right there, because that is super handy. Okay, now we've got blaze cakes ready to be export bussed. Now, these guys only stack, don't they only stack? What do they stack up to? Oh, I guess they stack up to a stack. Because I just got 36 in one slot, so I guess they stack up to 64. So we should have lots of blaze cakes by the time we need them. Right? And this is just running, you know, we've got plenty of cinder flour. We've got plenty of sugar, because that's EMCable. The eggs are really the only unknown. And we're at, like, 49-ish stacks of them. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on it and see how big of a problem that becomes. But it's 1-to-1 eggs to cake, right? So we should be okay. Now, in fairness, I can haunt dough into an egg. So if it really becomes a problem, we can go this route, right? You know, we would just have to do like an automated wheat grower thing. But I feel like our eggs would be cool. That's cool. All right. So, you guys like? So that is this guy complete. Boom and boom. Not too shabby. Blaze cake stored. Chest go away. And, yeah, that looks really good. Okay. Now, fissile fuel production, that's going to be a whole thing. I could start making the machines at least. And there's definitely a few things here that I don't have access to yet, specifically these guys. I didn't do the ultimate setup. I should really get that going, huh? So you need to know how to make one of these. I should really just program that one because we use this electrolytic dude a lot. And just having him programmed in advance is smart usually. There we go. So separator done. That's one. Rotary condenser. Condensator. Done. We only need one of them. enrichment chamber, and I will be doing what I usually do. I just like that they told me exactly what items to make. So I'll probably still be making my fuel processing line like I usually make. So spoiler alert-ish, for Building Gadgets 2, I'm allowing you to copy and paste tile entities. I would like it if I could have like a template stored for my standard fuel processing line and then just copy and paste it. It won't copy tile entity data, so it won't copy like which sides are open and closed, but at least it'll place down all the blocks for you. And I might look into a way to, or I will look into a way to make it so that people can say what tile entity data is safe to copy, like sides, and not like inventory, because I don't want it to copy and paste the inventory. That would be bad. So that's something I have planned for Building Gadgets 2, but that's going to be in Minecraft 1.20. If you follow me on Twitter, you've seen me teasing Building Gadgets 2 just a little bit. All right, so here's where we get into this guy. So you need to know how to make this, right? You also need to know how to make this, but without this bit. And then you need to know how to make these guys, which is without osmium, right? Just refined obsidian dust. And then you should know how to make refined obsidian dust in a metallurgic infuser without that. And then you should know how to make obsidian dust, which is an enrichment chamber recipe. Okay. Let's get these guys programmed up. This is a nice end of the episode kind of task. So, Enriching Factory, you get this guy. The diamond doohickeys is what this guy goes in for. I think we need an osmium compressor here. I might move my multi-servo press just to align thermal with thermal, and yeah. Because I don't think I did an osmium compressor, right? Pretty sure I didn't. What I'll do is I will steal you. Put you over here with some universal cable. And you're set for push and pull back type stuff, right? Now you're probably going to drop a lot of junk in my inventory when I do this. There you go. And then these guys all go in here, and that's safe. And that should be good now. And then we can do a new pattern provider, which should be fine channel-wise. And then our osmium compressor with the mechanism, speed, and energy dudes, and you might even want a tier upgrade. Because that is supported, right? Yeah, buddy. Okay. Now, in fairness, I should have put this down here, shouldn't I? Yeah. Why don't we do that? Let's move this guy. Here. So that I can export bus osmium with my cables. And then your side config will be yellow coming in the front, which means you'll get osmium stored up in there, okay? And then your side config will be input on the back and output with auto eject on. That's probably how these guys are set up. Input, output, purple back. Yeah, cool, right. And then you just need enriched obsidian to behave yourself a little bit better. Do you not know how to make enriched obsidian? Probably not, because I just taught it most of the things that are part of that. Okay. Alright, so enrichment chamber goes here. I'm gonna take... Why are you like this? Because I was doing dust this way. You're right. I was, wasn't I? What I'm probably gonna want to do... If I did this... I can safely do a thing. Where's my... You're at 16 channels, so check this out. You ready? Not what I wanted. Anchor, please. Trying to avoid too many anchors. Not that they hurt, but I was just to like... I like my cable runs to be neat enough that you don't need anchors. But this is how I'm going to handle multi-craft issues, right? Because I'm going to need the same for the smelting factory at some point soon. And, you know, we can assume that the crushing factory might also at some point have the problem, right? So now, if I tell you that you can also input from the top, I can add this pattern here for this. And then he should start doing that because... Enriched obsidian needs... Yeah, you should be able to handle that. You've got a crafting card. You know have a need. Look, yeah, it's doing the thing. Nice. Wow, you're slow. Holy cow, are you slow. Okay, you need mechanism speed upgrades like nobody's business. And then while we're at it, how about 32 more energies and 32 more speeds? Cool. So he's just doing his refined obsidian thing. He's doing that thing. He's doing his refined obsidian dust. Cool. Ultimate control circuit is a regular crafting recipe. This goes in there, and this goes in here, right? So this will be this dude. This will be this dude. And this is a regular crafter, which means I should now be able to make one chemical dissolution chamber. Once my crafting CPUs are available. Cool. All right. So let's wrap up the episode here. I'm going to make the rest of these things off camera. I just knew I was going to run into a I don't have this set up type deal yet, and I wanted to make sure that it would be set up type deal yet. So that should be cool. I don't know where that thing went, but come on, buddy. Chemical dissolution chamber. Let's go. Are you still working on my... Oh, because you're crafting glass in there? Is that why? I'm waiting for my smelter to be done. Oh, you're out of power. How are you... What? Out of power? Oh, because I broke that. Okay, yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. I was like, there's no way I'm actually out of power, right? Not for reals out of power. Cool. Chemical dissolution chamber is now ready. Sweet. All right, so we'll come back next episode. I will have made the rest of these things, because the other ones I need multiples of. We'll get fuel processing ready, and then we should probably do fission and steam right away before we jump into this, because A, that'll be lots of power gen and storage for us, and B, if I don't do it now, I'll wait until I need it, and then I'll be like, I'm waiting for polonium and plutonium. I'd like that. I would like that building up in the background while I'm working on other things. So that's the plan. For now, Adult20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.